So do you ever feel tired or groggy or slow throughout the day? Today we're going to talk about exercise snacks, what they are, how you can apply these into your own life so that you don't have to rely on stuff like caffeine or coffee nonstop throughout the day, which then ends up messing up your sleep and everything, and it just loops into this whole cycle. How you can apply these into your life so that you can stay energized and focused throughout the day. All right, so first of all, what is an exercise snack? This is a concept that I came across in the past couple of weeks, and I thought this is a really interesting idea. An exercise snack is basically a small tidbit of exercise, whether that's a couple reps at a time or a couple minutes that you can squeeze in during a quick break or your lunch hour or anytime throughout the day. And the nice thing is it doesn't take up that much time, and depending on how you structure it, it might not have to take up any equipment for you as well either. And the awesome thing about this is, for those of you out there who are watching and you might hear yourself saying that you don't have the time to exercise on a regular basis, and sometimes we do have a lot of things coming up in our lives. So this would be also a cool way that you can implement exercise on a regular basis and break it up into small chunks so that you don't have to do a full 30 minutes or 60 minutes or 90 minutes at once, whatever you're shooting for there. Break it up into 5-minute chunks or even 2-minute chunks or even a couple reps here and there. Trust me, they really start to add up if you stick to it. So anyways, let's break apart a couple of different exercise snacks. I wrote together 3 different tiny workouts here that you can do without any equipment on a regular basis, all right? And I'm gonna break down the movements involved and actually show you myself going through all 3 of them right here and now. So let's get into it. So for the first round, what we're gonna be doing, or for the first exercise, what we're gonna be doing is 5 rounds of the following movements. We're gonna do 5 squats, 10 lunges, I prefer reverse lunges personally, and 15 jumping jacks. Okay, so 5 squats, 10 lunges, 15 jumping jacks, and we're gonna cycle through that for 5 full rounds, and you can try to crank through that as quickly as you can. All right, so let's break down the movements there. We're gonna do a bodyweight squat here today. So feet are gonna be about shoulders width apart, toes are slightly rotated outwards, and we're gonna drop back like we're sitting into a chair, pushing through our heels. We're gonna make sure our knees are not wobbly, not coming front and back too far, and we're sitting back just like we're about to sit down into a chair. Again, pushing through the heels on the way up. When we go into the lunges, again, I prefer reverse lunges here. We're gonna take a step back. Not too far of a step, okay? Just a really small step back. Drop our knee down. Again, pushing through our heel on the way up. That's a couple reps of that there. And into jumping jacks. Just like the good old days back in PE. So for the jumping jacks, we're gonna try to keep our elbows nice and straight. We're not going for any this kind of thing. Feet are gonna open as the arms come up and out. All right, so that was the first round. 3 movements, 5 rounds total, 5 squats, 10 lunges, and 15 jumping jacks, okay? Let's knock it out. All right, so that first one was really good. A lot of focus there on the legs and lower body. Would probably take you somewhere around 5 to 10 minutes to get 1 round of those done. Let's jump on to the second one. So for the second round, how we're gonna do this is you're gonna set a 5-minute timer. We're gonna cycle through another 3 movements. However, you're gonna try to crank through as many rounds of these 3 movements as you can within those 5 seconds, all right? 5 movements that we're gonna be knocking out here are gonna be 20 reps of high knees. So bring the knees up while we're standing up nice and straight here. Now you can pick up the pace with these if you feel comfortable. The biggest thing I want you to focus on is as you bring this knee up, we don't want your whole lower back here tugging in with the knee as it comes up, okay? Again, standing up nice and straight, everything from the hips up should be straight, core's engaged. Bring the knees up one at a time here. We're gonna try to bring it up as high as we can go, really trying to stretch those legs out a little bit as well. And then moving into push-ups. Now, if you're unable to do full push-ups properly, keyword there is properly, we're gonna drop down to the knees. So if we were to, if we were to practice our push-ups here, just imagine if I were on the floor, as the arms come backwards, these elbows are about 45 degrees from the body. All right, so about 45-degree gap over here, and then we're pushing straight up. Okay, so you can kind of practice that movement here. And one thing I want to make sure is that we keep the hips and the shoulders relatively level. If they're a little off, that's fine, but we don't want the hips drooping too much. And one of the biggest things that we have to pay attention to here is making sure the core is engaged so that the upper body and the lower body move up and down together, okay? So let's try a couple reps here. All right, again, the core is engaged so that the upper body and the lower body are moving together. When the core is not engaged, sometimes what you end up seeing is the core, the upper body and the hips, they come upwards separately. And what I mean by that is imagine this. All right, and if you're doing these from the knees, again, keeping the core nice and engaged, we're gonna try to straighten the hips out so that it's almost like a straight line from your knees all the way up to the shoulders, okay? So core engage, hips straighten out, body's in one straight line here, dropping down and press, 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 press. Now, if push-ups from the knees are still a little tough, no worries. Go ahead, find a wall, a pole, something you can come up against, and you can just do the push-ups straight off that as well. I don't know if you can catch me back here, but imagine we have a wall or something here. Coming forward and just pushing. It helps to turn your face a little bit to the side so that you're not ramming your face straight into the wall there. But that would be a good place to start, okay? So after the push-ups, we're gonna do a 20-second elbow plank here. So on the floor, again, keeping the body nice and straight here, not letting the hips drop too close to the floor. Hips are gonna be about level with the shoulders in one straight line there, core's engaged. And we're gonna hold this for 20 seconds, okay? Now, one quick variation that you can do if you're not comfortable going down onto the elbows, then we can do what's called a full plank variation, which is a variation from the regular plank. However, we're coming up into a push-up position, okay? So imagine we're holding a full push-up position here on the feet, keeping the core nice and engaged. That's gonna train a little less in the core and spread that out to our shoulders and our arms as well. However, it's a great way, a great alternative to practice for the plank. All right. Okay, I think I just got enough rest after that first round, so we can get started for the second round here. Again, it's gonna be a 5-round timer. 20 reps, high knee, so for example, one on the left, one on the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, up to 20, 10 push-ups, and then a 20-second hold in the plank. We'll see how this happens. We got about 20 seconds here. I'm gonna start at the top of the clock so I have something to keep track of. All right, second one, done. So, I was about to say halfway through that if you need to take a quick breather with these rounds that are timed, go ahead and take them as you need, and as you're ready, get back to it. As you practice these, as well as like with any of these workouts, is over time, it'll become a little easier for you. You'll be able to get through more of it without having to take as many breaks, but especially if this is your first couple of tries, or you're just getting back to it, pace yourself. Otherwise, your body's just going to regret it afterwards. So there's no problem with like slowing down, taking a quick breather in between. Do it, slowly build up rather than trying to force it all the way through when you're starting out. So that was the first 2 rounds, and we just got one last round here to go. Sorry, I'm just catching my breath. So for the last round, it's just 2 movements. We're gonna go 30 seconds each. It's a mountain climber and a plank jack. So 3 rounds of each movement, 30 seconds each. So this one's gonna be total 3 minutes, all right? So it's gonna go 30 seconds mountain climbers, 30 seconds plank jack, back to mountain climbers, plank jacks, mountain climbers, plank jacks. So for the mountain climbers, how we're gonna do this is we're gonna be in full push-up position, just like with the full planks we were talking about earlier. So full push-up position, and we're gonna bring the legs or the knees in one at a time. Now I'm gonna demonstrate this just like I did with the high knees, because essentially it's the same thing and same concept that we're gonna use, okay? So if I were in push-up position here, knees in, we want to be able to control as we bring our knees up, not jerking it up too quickly or too hard. Again, we don't want to be pulling our back inwards as this knee comes forward. Upper body is nice and straight, knee in, knee in, knee in. One thing that you're probably going to notice when you get started out is that if this is a little heavy for you, again, it's cool to take a breather in between. The clock's going to continue running. However, we want to slowly build up to it. But you're probably going to realize the hips might be pushing up a little higher than you want. You might see something like this. Ideally, we lower the hips down so that they're roughly level with the shoulders there. But if it's your first couple of tries, it doesn't hurt, just let it go, practice it, but just know that as you get stronger and stronger and stronger, your core starts to build up, your shoulders start to build up. We're gonna try to lower the hips so that they're level with the shoulders there, okay? And with the plank jacks, we're in the same position. However, the feet are coming out and inwards, okay? Just like if you were doing a jumping jack. Now, note with the plank jack is that I only want you to open your feet up as wide as you're able to handle. If you open it up too wide and the core is not strong enough to support it, what you're gonna notice is the knee and the hips, they're gonna start bending and caving inwards a lot, okay? And this is what I mean by that. If you notice that, excuse me. If you notice that, it's either one of 2 things. It's either your core needs to engage more, or you just don't have the strength at the moment. So the best way to address that is close up the gap a little bit. Don't jump out as wide. Again, build the strength up. It doesn't help you at all to try to force more intensity or more weight than you're able to handle, because that's basically a surefire way to get you closer towards getting injured rather than helping you build your strength. So again, mountain climbers, plank jacks, 30 seconds each, 3 rounds of each of them total. So 3 minutes total here. Let's knock this out. This is our last one. I got about 20 seconds left on the clock before I start. Round 3. Let's make this happen. Ooh, it's like calm before the storm. All right, we got about 5 seconds here. 3, 2, 1, go. 3 rounds done. You probably noticed I took a lot of breaks during that one, again, which is okay. I encourage you to pace yourself as you need. That third one, you're gonna feel a lot in the shoulders, in the core, all over your body. A lot of muscles are helping us basically keep the body up in that position, even though you're not moving too much there. So, for example, you're gonna notice that while you're in that position, your arms are holding this position. They're not contracting, you know, they're not pushing, they're not pulling, they're not moving at all. But your muscles going through what's called an isometric contraction, which is basically like it's staying still. However, the muscles contracted and engaged to help support your body. Again, sorry, I'm catching my breath here. I always push this point, but the core helps support the upper body and lower body and make sure that they move together, and also protects your spine, your lower back, that region, in holding everything together. So that's what its job is. Again, the shoulders are helping support your arms as they're holding you in that position, which is why they tend to kick in so much during that third round. So again, these are exercise snacks. I hope this was helpful to you. Give it a shot, you know, whether you're at the office, working at home, or hanging out in a gym, right? Yeah, give it a shot. Try it out a couple times throughout this week. Let me know how you like it. I hope this video was helpful to you. If there's any other topics or ideas that you want to touch base on, go ahead, drop them in the comments below or shoot me a message. I'd be more than happy to expand on those a little more. Always looking for more video ideas, so your feedback means a lot. So thanks for watching again. Take care. See you in the next one.